Hello lovely peoples, I am Michelle, this is my wheelchair Betty, and you're watching Rebelwheels NYC. So today, I want to talk about something that has been on my mind, and that being the weight of systemic ableism on your soul. On the soul train. There's basically two kinds of ableism. There's social ableism, when I go out into the world and then total strangers just gawk at me and give me dirty looks. The other kind of ableism is systemic ableism, and systemic ableism treats my safety as if it was a luxury. Systemic ableism is like being in an abusive relationship, only the partner or the family or whatever situation is the system. I have been struggling with this, but I've found a couple of things that have helped me get through it that I thought I would share with you. Doesn't make it everything okay, it doesn't compensate for the existence of systemic ableism, but it does make things easier, and sometimes you just have to go with that and be like, hello, easier. So the first thing is I've been watching a lot of Craig Ferguson videos on YouTube. He has this kind of laugh. His face turns all red and he starts crying. My point being, find things that make you laugh and laugh your ass off at least once a day. 2, find things that give you a warm and fuzzy feeling. I also really love Esther the Wonder Pig. She is adorable and I love her with all my heart. Feel warm and fuzzy at least once a day. On a more deeper level, I guess you can say it, I realized that, it's very easy to get caught up in the future of things, in the how are we gonna do all of this? All we have are moments, and you have to focus on the moment. So if I'm making lunch, I'm focusing on that I'm making lunch. And by doing that, I don't get too stuck in my head. Also, what I've been working on is making sure that I don't neglect my physical self. Sometimes when you're working really hard on combating depression, the systemic ableism that says that your safety is not a priority, that you don't count. That can mess with you, and so it's really important to not only do enough self-care to battle depression, but also kind of to make sure that you don't internalize the ableism. That being said, sometimes in the process of doing that, you can start to neglect your physical needs. Once a day or as needed, try to get in touch with yourself physically, going, wait a minute, am I eating enough? Am I drinking enough water? But in the interest of keeping this video somewhat shortish, I'll put all the rest and all the links that I've mentioned, they will all be in the description. I'll leave you with one last tip that has helped me a lot. When you are struggling, when you're like, I give up, what is the point? What is the fucking point? Because whatever I do, it's like small sides, that's how you feel sometimes. And so what I do in those moments, I make a list of things that don't suck. Well, sometimes I just sob my eyes out, but when I'm done with that, I make a list of things that don't suck. I'm like, oh, alright, this sucks, but you know what doesn't suck? Unicorns. Anyway, that being said, if you are disabled, or even if you're a part of any oppressed demographic that has to deal with systemic oppression, what are some ways that you deal with it? Leave your tips and comments in the comment section, because that's where they belong. Thanks for watching, and hang in there, because holy crap.